All right, so this is exactly what we like to do here. On top of fixing these cars up, we like to modify them. So we have a couple parts that we're going to be installing here. We've already got the upper mount is already installed, so a set of the Torque Solution motor mounts are going on to this, along with the transmission mount. All that stuff's new. We have a new fuel pump here, which will open up. There's the part number. Also, we have the Stage 3 Werks, I believe that's what they call it, transmission here to install. Actually looks pretty good. All new bolts holding everything together. The input shaft right here. Lighting is kind of gnawed down here, but this thing is pretty, and you can tell it's new. It's had a bunch of stuff done inside. You can look that up on their website, I believe, and it'll go over everything. But let's take a look at these this fuel pump here, since we're going to be opening this thing up for the first time. Universal fitment kit. So we got some hoses, a plug end, and it's a 340 Beechworks pump. A new set of axles to install, along with the new transmission and the engine mounts and the motor mounts. We're having a fuel pressure issue, and I'll tell you what, the fuel pump just doesn't sound too good. How are these things in here? The staples on the back actually went up into the axles. Right, so there's all our new nuts, the ends. Let's take a look and see what these things look like. Looks like they were shipped in these boxes, and then reboxed in that box, and then reshipped. So, they open. Okay, well, it's gonna open this way. All right, so these are supposed to be the gator axles that Modern Performance sells. They do come with some nuts. This one here is the passenger side. Looks like they got, there we go. I mean, they don't look bad. Nice and tight. Oh yeah, feel pretty good. Okay, take a look at this one. These things just aren't packed like the greatest, but they made it. I think I pack my axles better when I sell mine. Nice and new, man. Nice and new, nice and tight. Other than the styrofoam, they actually look pretty darn good. I'm trying to stay in the camera. Gator Racing axles. Check it out, guys. Alright, so we get to install all this. I still got to grab the transmission fluid. I think this thing's going to get like the 1040 Mobile 1, which is what's recommended, I believe. Let's get these. Alright, so we got a 6-gallon can. We undid our feed line. I'm just going to set this back here. Hopefully it picks up the sound that this thing is making. It just is terrible. Talk about terrible. All right, We got the one hanger undone. I like to undo these up here. Gives it a little bit to hang with the hoses. So I got to get in here actually, and I'm going to trim back these zip ties to make sure that we don't have anything that's going to pull on anything. Okay, right, there's another one. Alright, there's that. That has a little push. Heard that sucker on snap. So, like that one wasn't locked. I'm just gonna undo this just to get it out of the way so that I know I'm not gonna catch on it, and I can tuck this back. Alright, so take a look at how they are. I missed a kink in that one. Alright, I'm gonna get this other one undone and we'll get this tank down. I'm gonna grab the wrench I need to loosen both of these fittings. I think what I'm gonna do is, it's the shorter one goes on the bottom, but I think I'm gonna put a red zip tie around that just so I know. Alright, so I was able to find a yellow one, but this one came off. This one here was really tight. It was wanting to make these spin. From past experience, I'll have to double check this to make sure it's tight, because sometimes these always end up leaking. It's just the way that whoever made them puts them together. Ew. Oh my goodness, look at the size of this pump. What's on the end of this? Ah, well, there we go. I am not sure what that is. It's definitely a soda can. See what it looks like. Gosh, what is this thing? Bosch. Well, let's look this part number up once. Alright, well, I guess it's build a canister day. So let's see what we gotta do to make this thing work. But first, we gotta get the old one removed. So let's see if this is gonna come off of here, or if we have to spin it or cut it. We've already got the wiring disconnected, which was pretty easy. That came off there really easy. Man, I think, if anything, we're going to have a nice weight reduction. So, I'm going to have to modify my line here, and then I have to figure out where I got to go through and which way that has to go to be able to get this pump to mount into here. Looks like it's going to be really close, but I'm going to trim the end of this because that's going to be flared, and we'll get it clamped onto that. It looks like the plug ends here, we're going to have to cut those off. We're obviously going to have to get this gas cleaned up. get some heat shrink tape and connect this wiring to that. Man, would it be nice? It's a shame that's the wrong fitting, because this thing should actually have the fuel going right back up into here. Let's see, which way is this going to sit? It's going to sit like that. So it's going to be pretty close. I mean, it'll still work out, but it would have been nicer to have it either running through here and filling the container on the return, and then coming out at the screen here at the bottom. Probably could have cut that off right there and used that. So I might have to I don't like doing this stuff. I might have to cut some of that anyway, and then I can clamp around this here. I'll just slice that and run my clamp through it. Oh boy, there we go. It's gonna be fun. Alright, so this is what we got. I just with what was cut out of the canister, I mean, it worked pretty good with the way that was set up before. Luckily this hose was able to go onto there. This will hopefully work. It'll be down toward the bottom. Luckily I had one of those. The one that comes with the kit is actually for flat, so it's no good. I mean, everything seems to be connected. We soldered all of our wiring connections. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of WD-40 and I'm going to spray it onto the seal. I slide my seal in first, then I slide my pump assembly on. I think I got to double check it and make sure that this one here is tight. And then we're ready to install this thing. Basically gonna hook it up and give it a test shot. I usually don't like doing anything like this because it's a test and go. I mean, this could work perfect. I just, with what was here, this is what we got. Hopefully, I mean, it should fit in there. If it fits through here, it should fit in there. Here's the other hose that they had. Everything seems to be okay. Okay, well, everything is reinstalled up in here. Seems to be working all right. Everything powered up. It comes on. I did notice one thing right here. Now, I don't know if this would cause a problem. I'm not a fan of this ground being here. Normally I put them back here, I clean these bolts up, and it seems to be a better ground. So we're going to fix that, and then we're going to get all these wires zip tied up, and that'll be it for the fuel thing. We're going to fire it up. I'll let you guys hear what this one sounds like. It sounds a whole lot better when it's on. All right, so we I took a little Scotch-Brite pad on the angle grinder, cleaned that area off, got a brand new bolt, cleaned the end for the wire for ground. It had the little end on it, so it didn't have the large end, which is normally on these to go over these bolts back here. So I just cleaned it up. I put the electric grease over that, which is what you use for electrical connections. All the lock clips are on. I just got to grab a couple zip ties, but that's going to finish up the fuel pump install on this. I'm going to get this back tire on. I'm going to move to the transmission, and that's going to be our next project, and that's going to be for another video. So that'll be the next part of the build.